Hey everybody, I'm Creed and welcome back to Slime Rancher. So we're going to start off our adventure with the exciting task of feeding some slimes. And then we're going to head right back to the moss blanket to get some mint mangoes. And that's because the honey slime loves mint mangoes and will give you more plorts if you feed it to them. And this episode's probably going to be a little bit more farm-centric, but we are going to the moss blanket to get mint mangoes. We're going to contact Ogden and do the trade, and in an upcoming episode, we'll head over and see what he's all about. And we'll definitely pop another Gordo and get ourselves another slime key, because pretty soon we're going to be going into that cave over there to go to the indigo quarry. So we're just collecting some general plorts here and throwing away chickens. See, this is my first gaming series I've done, and I'm not positive about the audience for this stuff. I'm making this with me in mind. This is, if I could forget that I made this series and rewatch it, that's kind of what it's for. Because I am a Slime Rancher fan. I like to watch how other people do things in the game. So I actually watch a lot of people that are doing Slime Rancher series. And now I am one of them. Now those guys are really, really angry, and I consider that none of my business, so just walk right past. My name is Paul, and that's between y'all, as Kevin Smith always says. Alright, back through the gate. And there's actually a lot of cool decorations you can pick up once we start getting the treasure pods. We can bring a lot of pieces of the moss blanket back with us. So I was watching somebody's video, and they mentioned that they think this is a kid's game, and they were playing it, and they weren't a kid, but they called it a kid's game. And I was kind of like, that's on the surface. That's like, if this was a physical game, that's what the impression you'd get by looking at the box would be like, oh, a kid's game. I think this game is for everybody, and especially if you look at who's doing videos for it. There's old geezers like me. There's hardcore gamers, and there's some younger people. As a matter of fact, when I first started playing, I got stuck at something. I think I was trying to figure out where something was. So I pop into YouTube and do a little search, and I think the guy with the answer was, I don't know, he might have been 10, but he had the answer. That's the cool thing. It's kind of like a leveler. It sort of doesn't matter who you are, or how old you are, or what your job is, or whatever. If you are down with Slime Rancher, that's all that matters. Ooh, boom slimes going everywhere. Oh, let's get up a different way here. So we're just wandering around the moss blanket looking for a mint mango tree. But there's a little spot further on here that I'm pretty sure there is one. I am not leaving without some mint mango. Alright, go right over Anger Alley. Oh, treasure pod. We'll have to get that once we're hunting them. Be angry over there. Alright, let's go down here, and there is the mint mango tree. And these are not done. So what I'm going to do is pretty boring. I am going to wait by this tree until I get mint mangoes. So we're going to time-lapse that and make it a little more exciting. Bam! The magic of video. Now we have 2 mint mangoes. Now we are out of here. You can be angry about it all you want, Mr. Slimes, but we're leaving. So this is going to help us a lot. Once we have that, we'll up the... We're going to get those booms, those honey booms, to give us more plorts. As we just constantly build our slime rancher empire. And just in case you guys didn't know, before this, like I said, this is my first gaming series I'm starting, and I'm going to have others. I'm already working on a few other games. But this is my first series, and before this, I was just making art videos, because art is my thing. I just have to really get back to it, and I'm sort of waiting around to see if that happens. But this game is actually giving me a lot of inspiration. I have a really cool idea for kind of a little bit of a Link to the Past, Bright World, Dark World kind of thing, or They Live Sunglasses kind of see the truth kind of thing with this game, where I want to draw monster versions of the slimes. Because my thought is, with them being just so super pleasant and there's no, like, nothing sinister about these slimes, you would almost never see that on anything. If this was a movie and you come down and they're all super friendly slimes, it's a trap and you're not seeing them right. So I figured it'd be cool to draw really disgusting, gross monster versions of these slimes, as if that's the truth and we can't see it yet, kind of thing. It's just an idea I have, but I'm hoping to get some really cool fan art made for this. So we'll add more to our silo here. It's just a little rainy day fun, so I got some quick food if I need it. Get those stragglers. It's sort of weird going back and starting a whole new adventure because I'm used to where things were in my last save game before I restarted this and started my recordings. But we'll get it all back. And I think it's more fun that I can share it instead of just playing it myself. So I sort of try to make these videos for Slime Rancher fans, because I know they like to see how other people do stuff. And I describe the little systems and the stuff that's going on, because if you're brand new, I also want to convince you that this is a fantastic game and it's definitely worth your time. As a big Muppet fan, I cannot look at those hens without seeing Camilla, Gonzo the Great's girlfriend. I think if they ever put rats in this, which is they probably won't, but if they ever put rats in, they have to look like Rizzo and the boys. They should just go full-on Muppet Show on this game. And the explosions. You gotta get more health. After you get more health, they don't really matter unless you get cornered and you get a lot of damage. But I usually ignore damage when I have a higher life. But I don't think, just from watching, I don't think these guys explode just when they're agitated, like a lot of people sort of think. Why are slimes acting up? They should be happy. You know, I think that's how they act, and then they do more when they're agitated. Because these guys are just great right now, but they're still like, hey, watch what I can do. And they're probably angry that they're yanked out of the Moz blanket. Thrown in a box, fed through a machine. I'd be pissed. And we're getting a good little chicken population starting up here. You're going to see them all around the edges. The game is starting to get at the point where there's more and more things going on. But you get to a point where you can open up lots of stuff, and then you're back and forth from different parts of the game. When it really kicks in is when you get the lab and you can start building teleporters. Then you just put one teleporter in your base and one teleporter where you want to go, and you can jump all around the map wherever you want. But once you've done that and you go back to before teleporters and you're just schlepping around, hoofing it everywhere, it's sort of like, oh man, I really miss the teleporters. Laziness. Humans are like that though. You can have a teleporter to go to the next room, and if that breaks down, you'll be like, oh, I gotta walk to the next room. This is insanity. When are they gonna fix that teleporter? That's just what people are like. There's a classic episode of the Jetsons where Jane Jetson's like, kids, whose turn was it to run the dishwasher? And they're like blaming each other. No, it's Elroy's turn. No, it's Jody. And then I think it finally came down to it was Jody's turn. Jody's like, oh no, I have to do it. This is just not fair. And she goes over and she pressed the button. Oh, that's human nature. We will get used to whatever's going on, and it becomes too much to do. You make your life twice as easy as it is now, And in 6 months' time, you'll be like, oh no, what do I gotta do? This is ridiculous. So I'm not sure when the next update with some substance, like a new section or a new mission or something's coming. But what I'm hoping is by the time I get up to pretty much where I am now in the game, because I'm ahead of where this is because I have a lot recorded. By the time the videos catch up to my playing, I'm hoping that the new thing will come out. But either way, if it comes out before, I think I'll do a jump ahead video just to show the new stuff. I really love that they're still working on this. They're doing a fantastic job on this game. It's just a world I love to visit. Makes me feel happy to play this game. And I'm sort of a grumbly metalhead who likes horror. But this is like medicine for my brain. It's calm and nice and friendly, and it's just good. I like it. Plus, it's all alien creatures and discoveries of hidden stuff and ancient, hard-to-find cities, and we will get to all of that. The one thing I would wish they would do, and hopefully in an update they will, I'd like the gun to go faster. Like, if you're taking a pile of plorts out of something and you're putting them back into something else, just that process is a little slow. Not super slow, not to an annoying level, but I think they could speed it up a little bit. Especially when you get to the point where your tank's 100. That's sort of a while. But I think the next episode, we're going to get the lab so we can start on slime science and gadgets and stuff. And that's just going to be awesome. That's a giant addition to the game. That, like, doubles the amount of stuff you have to do in the game. And we're going to open up the quarry and get some of those slimes. There's crystal slimes, boom slimes, not boom slimes, rad slimes that are radioactive. It's strange that the basic slimes, the first ones you see, are pink. I really would have thought they would have been green, because that's what the rad slimes are. I think they're one of the only green slimes. Rad and Tangle are green too. But I really would have thought green slime would have been the first basic one. Letter from Ogden. It's not about his wilds or anything. It's just get hold of me on the range exchange. And then Casey's giving me a weather report from a planet I'm not on anymore. So yeah. Riveting. Oh, and now let's start the 7 Zee Rewards Club. So we got the Roostro Weather Vane, fence upgrade, path upgrade. We'll just burn through some of these. Porch upgrade. And then some colors, which I usually don't mess with much. And that should do it for now. But you start to get some actually pretty cool stuff if each thing costs more and more money. So 7Z will send you here. And they probably took a lot of your money just for the trip. And then, like I said, they drop you in here where they already have infrastructure. It doesn't cost them anything to put you in here. And then they want all your money. They benefit from all the work you do here. They're just such a great corporation. back into the overgrowth here. Mint mango harvest. There we go. Boys are gonna love these. So we got lots of food now. That's great. A few cube berries on the go here. Leave that. I don't want to completely get rid of cube berries because I do have those phosphors. Now you kind of get used to having the same slimes in the same spot, but eventually I will switch stuff out, and that just depends on how the game's going and what kind of plorts I need at the time. Now let's check this thing. And we got Ogden right away. I'm working on a new recipe. Help me out. I think I will, Ogden. And with this Ogden's update is when they started putting full figure images on with the pictures, which is great. It makes it more like you're actually talking to Ogden. He's definitely got an egghead, that's for sure. he may actually just be Slimes too. I don't know, with makeup on or something. But good old Ogden, and his mission is excellent, and we get a lot of cool stuff from that. So he wants some mint mangoes and some carrots. So we'll just give him the mint mangoes right now. And there should be some carrots down on my front porch. A little zip down here. There we go. Carrots. And you just get like some miscellaneous junk, but you have to do this trade to be able to contact Ogden. There we go. And he gave me mostly plorts. This is weird, but okay. And he sends us a letter. And that letter basically invites us over to his retreat. And over in the wilds is where we find saber slimes. Saber slimes are really cool, but there's not a giant benefit of farming them. Partnership? You seem to be making a name for yourself, and I like your style, so let me cut right to the chase. I'd like to offer you a job doing a little side work for me. I've got a chunk of land on the outskirts of my property that has access to a place I call the Wilds. A land of primitive, feral slimes, dangerous as all get out, but also home to a delicious rare fruit that I love. If you're up for a challenge, come on down to a little retreat of mine near the Wilds and learn more. I found a derelict teleporter on your network that I've activated on your ranch. It'll take you right to it. Hope to see you there. And then he has the spooky signature of ooh. Good old Ogden. So we'll be doing that soon, but we're on a mission today. We're not gonna change course yet. Zip down here. I like when you play a game so often that like landmarks and places in the game become a place in your mind, almost like your neighborhood store is in your mind as, hey, that's a place I go to all the time. I think all the really best games I've ever played, I always had spots that became a place to me, like a real, like one of my favorite spots to go to, even though it's just digital. I think my favorite video game spot to go to from any game has to be, there's a raft floating on a lake in blood, and that's where you get the voodoo staff, and the whole lake is full of giant vicious shark monsters, but you can just stand on that raft and look at the night sky and listen to the shark monsters roaring below you. I love that. That's one of my favorite video game spots of all time. I should do a video about my favorite spots to go to in different video games. So that over there is our target of the day. We're going to pop the Honey Gordo. And he loves mint mangoes. And before he knows it, he's going to be smithereens. There we go. Get those in ya. Do we have enough? No. Close. So close. Okay, we will be back. I would have brought more, but I didn't have more. So that's where he is if you're looking for him. Right here in the middle of the moss blanket. There we go. And we're just gonna fly through this. I think it'd be fun to get a lawnmower attachment. Cut some of this grass. Maybe that's just me. Especially once you upgrade the overgrowth. It has really tall grass. I'd love to just mow it. I just would. I don't know. Which is weird because I hate mowing real grass. Games are strange that way. Like you can play 40 hours of The Sims and your sim is doing a pile of stuff that you don't like in real life, but you're just right into it, like forget to go to bed, kind of right into the game, living some life that you wouldn't normally live. Alright. And we haven't even seen like half of the moss blanket. There's a lot more missions and places to go and stuff to do. There's a whole back end that's full of hunter slimes and mean feral hunter largos. And hunters are sort of like a raccoon and a tabby, kind of, sort of. But we're just going to stick to the regular route through here right now until we have more of a jetpack. And magically we're home from our mission with some chickens. So we'll stock up on a little bit of food later, and we'll go back and finish that guy off and get his key. Oh, looks like somebody was loose. If you find stray plorts like that, that means somebody get out. But since it wasn't a pink plort, it's one of these guys. And phosphors don't last long in the daytime, so he's probably not still wandering around. He has gone to the great slime beyond. it's funny because for convenience sake, like if, let's say I had to clear out one of these cages, one of the ways to do it is just grab all these guys and throw them into the ocean, which seems barbaric, but the game has actually said that the ocean does not kill them, it sort of absorbs them, sort of like the Ocean of Odo's people on DS9, where he can just absorb back into the ocean and then come back out. That's sort of the story they have here, where you're going to shoot these slimes into the ocean and they're just going to come out somewhere else in the game. But actually, I do even a worse and easier way to clear out a cage, and I don't think I will have to do it for a while. But yeah, I just make some tar and shoot some water, and you got a clean cage. Which also seems barbaric, but you have to realize these are just bits and bytes on the computer. So easier and faster is easier and faster. All right, and you notice the ground has changed, like when we got a few of those upgrades. Now we have a stone stairs back at our main base, and there's like stone walkways in the ground. The update for here, the overgrowth, is really dramatically cool. And at night, you see a ton of like stars and space, and then there's all these will-o'-the-wisps flying around. Just chock full of atmosphere. Just collect more food. Always need more food because we are now in charge of a whole farm of hungry mouths. There we go. Oh, grab a few carrots because they're free. Also with pogo fruit. This place is just full of every kind of resource you need. All the basic ones anyway. It's one of our best pieces of real estate. Even when we get all the different parts of the ranch, this is probably the prime real estate of the whole ranch. And I'll tell you now, we are saving this for the Tangle Slimes from the Glass Desert. And Tangle Slimes are like a vegetable, sort of. And they have vines that go under the ground and then pop up and grab stuff and then pull it back to them. It's really sinister to see. But everybody knows about the vines. But I noticed on a lot of people's videos that they're surprised by the other thing about the Tangle Slimes. And it says it in the Slimepedia. Once you get Tangle Slimes, it says they give off this pollen, and it makes other slimes sneeze, and it gets them really agitated. And they don't do it all the time. So but somebody will see that and they'll go, "What is that?" Well, it's in the description. It's just the vines are more memorable. And that's what you're thinking of when you think of Tangle Slimes. But yeah, I'm going to turn the overgrowth into Tangletown. And it's going to be awesome. I love Tangletown. Tangletown is one of my favorite parts of the ranch once I get it up going. Alright, we're getting some upgrades. They're available anyway. We'll have to get what we can. And there's a lot of people that are super into, oh, I'm going to use these colors. You can change the color of stuff, so we're going to change the color all the time. I don't mostly worry about it. That's the great thing about this game. You can, some of the things I do all the time, you don't even have to do. You can do other stuff. There's layers upon layers upon layers of stuff and how you can do things, and it's just a fantastic game. I love this game. It's one of my all-time favorite games, and I'm not much of a super modern player. Like anything that's online only, I don't play because I don't care about that. I'm really old school gamer. Old school. I like to get the game and have everything in the game. And I really would have loved to get a copy of this for my shelf. But it's digital only as far as I know. I don't think there is a physical game for Slime Rancher. But we're living in the future, and that's how it is now, so there we go. When I start playing other games on here, I'm going to do a lot of like retro PC stuff from the 90s and 2000s. I think I've said that before, but I definitely will be playing Blood. I'd like to see if I can get it going. There's a game called Ignition, and it's my absolute all-time favorite racing game. It's a very small game. It doesn't have a ton of levels or cars in it. But I will play Ignition over any, like, I don't know, Forza or Need for Speed, all this modern stuff everybody loves. No, I love Ignition's my favorite. And it's just cartoony. Like, I like to drive like a maniac, and if I need to, I can bounce cars off the side of the road and it's not going to crash me. That's the kind of game I like. We are here to feed you to death. And there we go. Boom. We don't need these honey slimes, but they are not going to be eating our stuff. I'm not super worried about it. I don't think we're going to get a ton of stuff in these crates anyway. No, see, there's nothing. Also nothing. Sometimes you can get really cool stuff in the crates, like gold slimes can appear from a crate. And if you're in Ogden's Wild, you can sometimes get Kukadobas in those crates. So this should do it for today. That was adventure number 4 in Slime Rancher. I want to thank you guys for coming by and hanging out with me. And part 5 is coming soon with a lot more cool stuff. So until then, take her easy.